Imagine it's your wedding day, the day you've dreamed of since you were a little girl. You've got the dress, the venue, the cake, and the guest list filled with everyone who matters. You're ready to say I do to the love of your life and step into a fairy tale, right? Now, imagine discovering months later that this fairy tale was meticulously crafted as a trap. No, this isn't a plot twist from a soap opera. It's the shocking reality for Lauren Sanchez, whose wedding wasn't a celebration of love, but a calculated performance designed to destroy her life. The innocent beginnings of a fairy tale. Lauren Sanchez's wedding day in Venice was supposed to be a fairy tale come to life. She was surrounded by the glimmering lights of a palazzo, her heart full of love, and the eyes of the world watching as she married a man who seemed to be everything she'd ever wanted. But, as most fairy tales go, not everything is as it seems. 3 months after the big day, Lauren received an envelope with no return address. Inside was a photograph, a picture that would change everything. This wasn't just any photo, it showed a bird's-eye view of her wedding reception, taken from what appeared to be a hidden camera in the crystal chandelier above. But that wasn't the reason her blood ran cold. In the background of the photograph, Lauren's new husband was in the corner of the room, engaged in a heated conversation with a man Lauren didn't recognize. Both of them were looking directly at her, unaware that she was oblivious to their gaze. And as if that wasn't unsettling enough, the man was holding a tablet, and the grainy photo revealed what looked like financial documents on its screen. This was not a man celebrating his wedding day, this was a man conducting business. The whole moment screamed betrayal. The true purpose of the wedding: power and manipulation. While Lauren was living her dream of becoming a princess in a fairy tale, the truth was far darker. 6 months before the wedding, in the glass towers of Manhattan, a different kind of ceremony was taking place. This one was filled with forensic accountants, private investigators, attorneys, and media strategists. The topic? Project Venice. But rather than being a blueprint for a wedding, it was a strategy for the most elaborate character assassination ever conceived. The wedding venue wasn't chosen for its beauty, but for its surveillance capabilities. The guest list wasn't about family and friends, but about creating a network of assets and witnesses. Even the menu had ulterior motives, ensuring that guests would be more alert and more likely to talk, making it easier to eavesdrop on every conversation. Every aspect of Lauren's wedding was a calculated move in a much larger, far more sinister game. The man at the center of it all, her soon-to-be husband, was not preparing to marry the love of his life. He was preparing for war. The wedding was nothing more than a well-choreographed trap designed to collect evidence and ultimately destroy Lauren. A honeymoon under surveillance. Lauren's honeymoon was meant to be a blissful escape, but in reality, it was part of an extensive background investigation. Hidden cameras, microphones, and surveillance equipment followed her every move. Even the seemingly innocent fitness trainer who helped her prepare for the big day was, in reality, gathering psychological data to build a case against her. Every workout session was a chance for Lauren to unwittingly reveal her past relationships, insecurities, and fears, information that would later be used to tear her apart. Her engagement party, which should have been a celebration, was another test for the surveillance system that would be deployed during the wedding. Every conversation, every casual interaction was recorded and analyzed. Friends who had known her for years were strategically placed to make her feel comfortable and open up about personal matters. Business associates were included to scrutinize her professional behavior. Nothing was left to chance. A marriage built on deception. The prenuptial agreement that Lauren signed 3 days before the wedding was anything but ordinary. At a time when she was overwhelmed with wedding preparations and emotionally vulnerable, she was presented with a document that would alter her life forever. It wasn't a typical prenuptial agreement, it was a weapon. Hidden within its dense legal language were clauses designed to control every aspect of Lauren's life. The silence clauses would prevent her from speaking publicly about her marriage, while the image clauses gave her husband control over how she was portrayed in the media. Financial clauses ensured that if she ever tried to leave or challenge him, she would be left destitute. And the most insidious of all, behavior clauses that could interpret virtually any action as a violation. Visiting certain places, speaking to specific people, or expressing certain opinions could trigger penalties, including social ostracism. Lauren signed it all, believing she was finalizing the details for her dream wedding, unaware that she was sealing her fate. A performance for the cameras. When the day of the wedding finally arrived, every detail had been meticulously planned. The historic palazzo in Venice wasn't just a beautiful backdrop, it was a surveillance hub, complete with hidden cameras, microphones, and fiber optic cables that connected everything to a central monitoring station. Lauren thought she was living the dream. She walked down the aisle in her custom-designed gown, thinking she was the star of her own fairy tale. But in reality, she was participating in the most documented ceremony in history. Every movement, every smile, every tear was being captured from every possible angle. And the reception? It was a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Her closest friends and family members were seated at tables rigged with the most sensitive recording equipment. Business associates were strategically placed to discuss her professional capabilities in ways that could later be used against her. Every conversation, every casual interaction was analyzed to find weaknesses and vulnerabilities. The sudden unraveling. Lauren's discovery of the photograph was only the beginning. The attack that followed was swift and brutal. First, legal battles erupted in multiple countries. Lawsuits began pouring in, each one accusing her of various forms of misconduct. The prenuptial agreement she had signed ensured that she would be financially responsible for her defense, sinking her deeper into debt with every passing day. Simultaneously, her husband's media team went into overdrive, leaking carefully crafted stories to tabloids and gossip columns. They painted her as manipulative, calculating, and ungrateful. Every conversation she had with friends was reframed to make her seem deceitful. Even her charity work was twisted into evidence of her desire for fame and attention. Professionally, she was cut off. Business associates disappeared, and projects she had been working on were suddenly canceled. Her social media accounts, once managed by her husband's team, were flooded with negative comments, many from bot networks designed to destroy her reputation. The trap is complete. As the legal, social, and professional waves of attack continued, Lauren realized that even her discovery of the surveillance equipment had been part of the plan. The photograph, the anonymous envelopes, the evidence of her husband's deception, it was all orchestrated to break her spirit. The note that came with the final envelope spelled it out. You were never supposed to win. You were supposed to serve as an example. Lauren understood that she had never been a bride. She had been evidence in a case that had already been decided. Her marriage, her life, her happiness, all had been nothing more than a performance, designed not just to destroy her, but to send a message to anyone else who might challenge the system of power her husband represented. And that's the shocking tale of Lauren's betrayal, a wedding that was never meant to be, and the dark game of power and deception that unfolded behind the scenes. If you found this story as mind-blowing as we did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories like this one. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the lengths some people will go to for power? Stay tuned for more jaw-dropping content. Until next time, take care and keep questioning everything.